Morning, Berlin seniors. Thanks for coming to do yoga today with me. I really love it. I love teaching yoga. It's one of the great passions of my life. And so I love to share it too, even if we can't be in the same space. So today I'm going to try to make an accessible class for everyone. We'll start warming up in the chair and then we'll stand. We will come to the floor maybe for hands and knees and seated. But it won't be for too long, and I'll try to give you options for when we do that. Okay, let's get started. Let's just sit back in our chair and we'll take a moment. It's important to just kind of take your mind space and your body space and just be aware of the change. We're not going anywhere, we're not doing anything. We're just going to take the time to sit here and be quiet, get quiet. And it's a good transition to our practice. So let's sit up nice and straight and tall. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. And then ground your feet to the earth. Let your belly be soft. And we'll close our eyes. Typically, a morning practice would have your palms facing up to the ceiling. And just draw your breath down deep. I like to think of it as filling a glass of water. So you're starting down here and you're slowly allowing the torso to fill with breath. When you're ready, come back. And acknowledge that you may feel different. You may feel more centered, and that's the purpose. So hopefully that's happened for you. Let's come to the edge of our chair and we'll start to warm up. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, we'll use our arms and take some breath in, out to the side and all the way up. Use your exhale to take the arms out and down. So it kind of looks like this. Let's do it a couple more times. Let's roll our shoulders, big circles, big as you can make them. Do it nice and slow. Feel everything the whole way through. And then we're going to attempt to go forward with these circles, which is a little harder. And then come to the center and we'll draw the shoulders up to your ears and we'll add a little squeeze. And then release the effort and we'll do that again. Beautiful. Let's take the arms out to the side. Press through the heels of your hands. Really stretching, fingers point to the ceiling. And then release and allow the fingers to point down and then curl them under and back towards your body. Let's do that again. So press through the heels. And then fingers curl up and under. And then last one, really press. And up and under. Let's give the hands a little shake. And I'm going to rub mine together. It's a little cold in here in the town office building this morning. Creating some heat and rubbing it all over. Waking up my hands. Let's do a little open close. So we're going to squeeze our fists and then give a little squeeze. Really notice that you're squeezing and then open, stretch, lots of space. So a good squeeze and then open. And then hold the fist and we'll make circles round and round. And then the other direction. And then we'll give them a good shake again. Let's take the hands out in front. We'll interlace the fingers and press your palms forward. Let an in-breath take the arms up and over your head. Do the best you can. And then we'll move one side to center and then the other. Maybe you have a little bend in your elbow, and that's okay too. And last one. Release the fingers, shake them all the way down. Reach to the back of your chair, open your chest. And then release the effort. Let's do some cat and cow. So hands on our thighs, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We begin by using the chest and lifting it nice and high. This is our cow. And then we'll reach to the back of your chair, open the chest, and the exhale will bring the hands out in front, hollow out the belly for the cat, and then back to center. Let's try it again. Lifting your heart nice and high. Reaching to the back, the exhale, hands together, round out the belly. And once more, lifting your chest nice and high. And we'll reach to the back. And hands together. And sitting up nice and straight and tall. So before we stand, let's do a twist. So important to move our spine in all directions. Forward, backward, side to side, and a twist. So we'll do that now. My right arm out to the side here. I'm going to bring it all the way over to my left knee, and then the left hand on top. So lifting it up at shoulder height, we're going to reach it back, and then it will depend on the flexibility in your neck as to whether you want to follow your fingers. You might want to keep your chin and your chest right in line, and that's okay too. I think we did 5. It wasn't really counting, but feels like 5. We'll come back to the center. Left arm out to the side, all the way over to your right knee, and the right hand on top. And let's do one more. And then we're coming back to center, starting seated nice and straight and tall, and allow your hands just to kind of glide all the way down to your ankles. I'm letting my head hang here, and then gently walking it up. Let's try that again, starting with a nice deep breath in. And gliding the hands all the way down as you exhale. A gentle shake of the head. And back up again. Let's do it one more time. It feels so good. Just bottle this. Nice deep breath in, gliding down. And when you're ready, walking it up. Okay, let's stand. I'm going to stand behind my chair. I think you can see my feet here. And as we move in and out, the top of my head might be cut off a bit. So I'm going to move my screen. Okay, standing behind my chair. We're just going to start by lifting up onto the balls of your feet. Now you have your chair there if you need it. Lifting up onto the balls of your feet and then down onto the heels and lift your toes. And what happens, you can really see my feet here. The weight rolls to the outside. So see if you can balance it a bit more and have the base of the big toe really work for you and support you there. And then don't forget to lift those toes. This is really good for your balance and making strong feet for those people that have fallen arches. And then we'll come down. I'm going to put a little space between my feet, and I'm just going to roll them out to the edges. And then I have to go a little wider in order to roll them. I think I want to do one at a time. Just feels a little safer. So I'm going to roll out to the edges. And then one at a time. Roll out to the inside. Let's do it a couple more times. And last one. I'm going to walk my feet back into mountain pose. And let's just take a pause here in mountain pose. So our shoulders are up, back, and down. Nice, long, strong legs, easy knees, lifting up to the crown of your head. And soften your belly for breath. Okay, lifting up onto the ball of my right foot. Just stretching my toes. And then lifting up on the ball of my left foot. And coming back to mountain. Okay, so standing behind our chair, you might need your fingers on the chair for balance. And we're going to start by just kicking your feet back towards your bottom. Put your hands on your hips. You can bring your feet a little wider. And back to center. Let's open our feet a little wider, and then we'll move from side to side, hands on side to side. Let's go round and round with your hips. A little bend in the knee. You might have to bring the feet a little bit closer, but you're really pressing back and pressing forward. Use your breath. And then we'll stop in the center and go in the opposite direction. And last one. Coming back to center, and we'll walk those feet together. So with your hands on your chair or your hands on your hips, we're going to step the legs out to the side so it looks like that. And you can take a pause for a moment if you want. Make sure you're breathing. Let's do two more. And we'll go to the other side. This is my left leg here. Take a pause. Let's do one more. And come back to mountain. This time we'll hold for a breath. We'll use our arms. Let's roll those shoulders. Always a good opportunity to roll your shoulders. Okay. Okay, one more leg. I'm losing it. Let's do a little balance. So mountain pose. We'll come up onto the right foot, the ball of the right foot, and then we'll walk it into the left. So you've got your chair if you need it. See how that feels. We'll go to the other side. Ball of the left foot, walking it in. Hold it for a breath. And back to mountain. Coming into mountain pose, let's just inhale up the right knee. We're just going to float it up. Shift your weight to the other side, to the left, and just float it up. Mine's out to the side here because I can't really go forward. I'm going to try it again. So I'm just lifting that right knee. Hanging the foot over the mat. And back to center. Shifting your weight to the right. We'll float up that left knee and just hang your foot for the mat. And then feet together into mountain. Okay, let's open our feet nice and wide. And one hand on your thigh, the other arm right up next to your ear. Doesn't matter which one, we'll do both. Start with a breath in. And as you exhale, reach down the thigh. Opening up that whole side, we'll inhale center and move to the other side. Use your exhale. And switch it, other side. Let's do one more on each side. Last side. And walk your feet together. I just thought of the leg movement that I forgot earlier. So it's just kicking to the back. So if you need to hold on to your chair for that, we're going to stretch the leg to the back. I feel like I need my chair for this too. So we're just stretching the leg to the back, straight knee. That was my right, this is my left. Going back to the right, stretching it back. And it's right behind you, it's not over to the side. Let's do one more on each side. Okay, back to mountain. Another nice deep breath, using your arms. Rolling those shoulders. Okay, let's try a goddess pose. The goddess pose, I really love it because it uses your arms, your legs, your torso, your whole body in a really nice stretch. So open your feet. And it uses your breath in a nice way too. Take your shoulders up, down, and back. We'll inhale the arms out to the side, and then in a big V. Bring your chin back towards your chest. We'll start with a breath in. Nice deep breath in. Stretch through your fingers, stretch through your toes. And then as you exhale, bend the knees and bring the elbows down by your side. Taking it all in. Notice if your weight is forward in your feet. See if you can bring it back with an open chest. Here we go. And exhale. Let's do another like that. Exhale. Let's do one more here in Goddess. And the arms come down. We'll walk the feet together. Very nice. Let's take a breath in between. It's nice to come back to center and appreciate a pose rather than going right to the next one. I'm rolling my shoulders. Okay. Let's move to the side. I'm going to keep this chair here. And I think you'll be able to see everything I'm doing. With our hands on our hips, we're going to take a nice big step forward with your right foot. And then I'm going to lift my back foot and stretch that back a bit just to get a nice wide stance. My hips are forward. My shoulders are up, down, and back. My arms along my side. And I'm using my breath to move in and out of the warrior. Brave warrior. Here we go. Arms out and up, and bend the forward knee. The exhale brings the arms out and the legs straight. Let's do 4 more for a total of 5. Really feel that back leg strong and straight. And last one, this one will hold for a breath. And then we'll walk our feet together. A pause in between. Let's take a nice deep breath. I'm going to turn to the opposite side to do the other foot. I'm going to take a nice step forward with my left foot and then a bit of a step foot back with my right foot. And hips are forward, chest is nice and high, arms down by your side, using your breath to move in and out of warrior. Back leg strong and straight. Number 5, we'll hold for a breath. Walk my feet together. We'll take a nice deep breath using the arms. Let's roll the shoulders. Okay, it feels like the right place to go down to our mat. Any of these seated poses you can do in the chair. This is Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. And I know that it's not easy for everyone, which would mean you could use your chair. Sitting on the edge, of course. So let's stretch our legs out in front. We'll give them a little shake. This seated pose here, called Dandasana, is a mountain pose bent at your hip. So we're still looking for that nice high chest. Lifting through the crown of your head. So seated in your chair, you could just stretch the legs out in front. And if you didn't have, or you didn't feel safe around them, you could just do one at a time and keep one foot on the floor. We're going to do a forward bend. Now, forward bend, if you have back issues or tight thigh muscles, hamstrings, then this might not be a good pose for you. And you can put a nice bend in your knee, which takes the heat out of your low back. We're really looking for a fold here. We're looking for this fold, and that's how our spine benefits from forward fold. So just scooping your arms under, giving your thighs a nice hug is benefiting your spine the same way as reaching to your toes. So let's bring the sole of one foot into the thigh of the other. Now we're looking for this knee to go down to the mat, but you can see it may not, and that's okay. It really shows a tight hip rather than a tight leg. Your hip is trying to open here, but it could be for a lot of reasons. It could be a little tight, and that's okay. I'm going to take one hand on either side of this left knee, and my gaze is kind of down at my knee rather than towards my toes, which crunches my neck. At the same time, I'm opening the hip. And is the goal the toes? Well, we all think so, but we're really looking for that fold again. Stretch those legs out in front and give them a little shake. And do the other side. So, sole of my left foot into the thigh of my right. I'm kind of willing my knee to go to the floor, sitting up nice and straight and tall. It's always about extension before we fold, hand on either side of the knee, pressing to the heel. If you want to reach to those toes, go ahead and do that. And then we'll ease up and back. Stretch those legs out. Don't lose your posture, nice and tall. And we'll bring the soles of our feet together in a cobbler pose. Willing my knees to go to the floor. Again, it's an opening of the hips here. Hips tend to be tight, especially as we age. That doesn't have to be the case, but it usually is, unfortunately. So it's important to take care of our hips. Okay, so I'm going to move from here to hands and knees. And when we go back to the chair, I'm going to show you how to do this pose in a seated way. But for now, we're going to do a little cat and cow. And cat and cow can be done in the chair by lifting your heart and then rounding through your spine. Spine does the work here. And the head just goes for the ride. And the next time you come into cow, we're going to roll the toes under and use the exhale to press back into downward dog. Take a breath in your downward dog. And we'll inhale, knees back and arms out in front. For our child's pose, is an option for you if your forehead doesn't come to the mat. I like to walk myself up into the rock pose here, but that might not work for you. So the high kneel is an option. So in high kneel, let's put our hands on our hips. Press your hips forward, shoulders up, down, and back, nice open chest. Fortunately, when you press your hips forward, your knees kind of go deeper into the mat and into the floor. So if you're having some knee issues or they're not feeling too good in this pose, then just ease up on the hip piece. Let's take the arms out to the side. We'll take them all the way up. Interlace your fingers and press to the ceiling. You can always have a little bend in the elbow if that's what you need to be comfortable, and we'll go to one side. Coming back to the center and the opposite side. And releasing the fingers and rolling the shoulders. Okay, from here, I'm going to come back to my chair. And we'll do some poses in the chair. Now, I promised you I would show you downward dog in the chair. Downward dog in the chair asks you to come forward to the edge of your seat. This is exciting stuff. You're at the edge of your seat and lifting your chest nice and high, arms by your side. Let's take them up, down, and back a little squeeze. We're just getting ready for a downward dog. So hands on your thighs, you can stretch legs forward. I'm up on my heels, but I have a little bend in the knee. It makes me feel safer in the chair here. And you're going to use your arms and your breath to bring the arms out to the side and then all the way up. Your palms are forward here and you're right up next to your ear. So you're going to use your breath. Remember, you have a little bend in the knee. In breath, and then the exhale brings the hands and the head forward, but try to avoid this. Coming forward. We're not coming all the way down, only just a bit. Imagine the floor in front of us in a downward dog. Arms down, knees bend. Breath in between. Let's do that again. So stretching legs out. Little bend, arms out to the side, all the way up, palms forward. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale out of downward dog and then exhale, arms down, knees bend. Let's take one knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. And then the other knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. And then one leg forward. Really press through the heel, engage the underside of your thigh and your calf. And add a reach on an exhale. Let's hold for a breath here. And then inhale it up and back, and we'll go to the other side. Stretch it out and add a reach. And inhale it up. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. Make sure you're nice and safe on your chair. And then you can draw the heels in just as if you were seated. Don't lose your nice straight posture. Shoulders up, down, and back. Hands on your thighs. Belly is soft. Just about anything you do on the floor can be done in a chair with a little creativity. Let's take that right knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. And left knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze. Okay, let's walk our feet together and bring our knees together. We're going to do what's called an eagle pose, and in yoga it's called Garudasana. So this is my right thigh. I'm going to cross it over my left, and it might not be a really good fit. You might have to play with it a little bit. This kind of gets in the way. That's okay. Okay. So top leg, we're pointing the toes to the floor. I know for some people that will kind of trigger like a pinch or cramp. So do the best you can. You can always just kind of let it hang. So again, we're sitting up nice and straight and tall. And then we'll bring in the arms. We're going to bend them at the elbow and then draw the elbows together. And heels of your hands all the way up to the fingers. And it's easy to kind of drop it, but see if you can bring it up at shoulder height here. Now that alone, feel the active leg pointing and the active arms pointing. That might be enough for you, but if you want to take it a little further, we can take, this is my right arm, I'm scooping it under. Fingers reaching to my palm here. Again, it's going to want to fall, but see if you can lift those elbows up and really feel the stretch in the back. Your shoulders, right between. So we'll breathe an eagle. And then release the arms, release the legs, and we'll go to the other side. Okay, feet together, knees together, left over right. I have to help it a little bit. Pointing the toes, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We'll add the arms. And this can be your eagle. You'll feel all the benefit that you feel in the eagle in this kind of modified pose. So this time I'm scooping my left arm under and reaching my fingers to my palm. Feel the kind of the stretching in the arms reaching up, the pointing in the toe reaching down. And release the arms, release the legs. Take the arms out to the side and give yourself a nice big hug. And then we'll just twist from side to side. I have to tell you, these are the best chairs. These chairs that we have here at the town hall, they don't have arms on them, which allows you to, move from side to side like I'm doing now. And they're sturdy, they're very sturdy. Over the past few months, I've had to try all kinds of house chairs. And I always come back to this chair is the best chair. So if you have one of these chairs at home, use this versus something from your dining room table. Okay, let's walk our feet nice and wide. I'm making a letter V with my legs and sitting up nice and straight and tall with your hands on your hips so you can hold the underside of your chair. We're just going to drop the knees to the center. And then maybe this is too wide of a stance for you. You got to close it a bit. No shame in that. And let's come up. We'll walk those feet together. Let's stretch out both legs out in front and a little bump in the knee. We'll do a forward bend. So this is Dandasana. We did it on the floor. Legs out straight. Nice tall posture. And on the exhale, we'll glide down towards the toes. Let your head hang. And then when you're ready, walk the hands up and back. We'll put the feet on the floor. Let's do a little open close, open close. Let's try another seated pose. This one's called triangle. So we're gonna walk the feet nice and wide. Or the yogis call it trik for 3, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Okay, sitting up nice and straight and tall. This is my right forearm. I'm gonna set it right down on my thigh. Some people do it like this. That's not gonna work. It has to be, make a cross here. Hand hanging out in the middle. Again, don't lose your posture. We're gonna inhale up this left arm, right up next to your ear. Point your fingers to the ceiling. And this next part is only for people who have some flexibility in your neck. You wanna make sure that you're not hurting your neck. So we're just gonna look up at your fingers, and if that feels okay, then that can be your pose. But if it doesn't feel okay, keep your chin in line with your chest. Now notice how I can press into my thigh and open up here a little bit more. My chin is still in line with my chest. And then place the heel of your hand where your elbow was and bring the arm down. Let's walk the feet together before we go to the other side. Okay, here we go. Nice wide feet. Left arm now crosses left thigh, and I'm nice and open here. I'm gonna inhale, my right arm right up next to my ear, fingers point to the ceiling. This next part is only if it feels good to look up there at your fingers. Notice how I can press in and open this pose a little deeper, but always keeping my chin in line with my chest. And we'll come out of the triangle and walk the feet together. Let's take one knee into your chest, give it a little hug. And the other knee into your chest. Give it a little hug. Okay, walking our feet wide once again. We're going to come down on both forearms, both hands in between. I feel like I need to move a little further back in my chair for this. And you're going to bring your chest forward, kind of hanging out on a Saturday morning. So make sure your ankles are under your knees. If they were more forward, then this really wouldn't be very stable. Or if they were too far under, it wouldn't be stable. So that's the sweet spot you're looking for. Now don't look up, because back of my neck here is crunching, so I'm keeping my gaze down at the floor. We're going to lead with the chest for this pose. We're going to inhale the chest forward, but see if you can keep your chin down. And then exhale and round the spine, pull the belly in. Inhale and exhale. So it's like this wide-legged cat and cow. Inhale, heart forward. I apologize for this madness here. Okay, let's do one more and that'll be that. And then we'll walk our hands up, walk the feet together. Edge of my chair now, and I'm going to take one knee and give it a little squeeze. It's almost like we bring it all back to center. It just feels right. Okay. Let's do one more pose and we'll move into a relaxation. Okay. Walking those feet wide again and sitting up nice and straight and tall. Shoulders down and back. Belly nice and soft. Okay. So again, we're coming down to the forearms and I'm letting my weight come into my heels. This time the shoulder is going to lead. So my right shoulder dips to the center. My chin is always in line with my chest. My legs don't move. They're in cement here. Just my shoulder dips forward as my torso twists a bit to the left. And again, you can keep your chin right in line with your chest. This shoulder dips to the center. So we're just going to go back and forth. And if you want to look around to the back a little more with your neck, you could play with that and see how that feels. Let's do one more on each side. And then we'll come to the center and walk ourselves up and walk those feet together. Okay, arms by our side. Let's do some shoulder rolls. And I'm going to rub my hands together. Get some warmth going in there between your fingers. Let's take a nice deep breath here, filling up your belly. Let's sit back in our chair and we'll take a few moments to integrate our practice here today and just kind of notice, be aware of what our bodies are feeling after our class. So have some nice posture here. Don't lose your nice tall spine and your soft belly. You release the legs and feet without releasing the legs and feet. So we're keeping them in nice posture, but we're kind of letting go. And you can turn your palms up or down. I'm going to keep them down. Lifting up to the crown of your spine. Let's close our eyes. Think about your hands and your feet. Imagine that they're the softest part of your body right now. They're at ease. There's no tension in them whatsoever. Then bring your awareness to your belly. Imagine that it's soft and round and easy, and it's just available for the breath you move in and out. Then let's come into the head. Imagine it sits with ease on your shoulders. There's no tension in your head or your neck. Even noticing your eyes and your mouth, in your face, in your jaw. See if you can draw that sense of ease down into your shoulders, softening through your chest, down the length of your arms. Imagine everything from the waist up to the top of your head is soft and easy. Imagine down your thighs and your knees, shins and calves. You're breathing into those spaces and just allowing them to soften. Imagine as your breath moves in, it makes its way all to the small places, all the way down to your fingertips and between your toes. Everything is full and ready for breath. And then as you let the breath go, it softens and makes you even more at ease. And when you're ready, with awareness, take your time. When you're ready, open your eyes. Coming back to the lights and sounds. I'm going to move to the edge of my chair. Bring my hands into Namaste. Inhale all the way up to my forehead and back to my heart. A little bow for Namaste. Namaste, Berlin seniors. Enjoy your Saturday. I hope you come back next week.